Hi, everyone, and welcome to Deadline Dilemmas. Pras, how's the international break treating you, my friend?
International break has been nice. It's been nice and calm. Not much has happened. And yeah, I actually wouldn't have minded another week. I know people say they hate
What?
international break.
Are you being serious, Pras? What?
Dude,
What?
I had such a quiet, nice weekend. I went out with my family. I took my kids to birthday parties where I didn't leave them behind, as the infamous story goes from a couple of seasons ago. Um, yeah, actually, yeah, it's one of those things where it was okay. It was nice, refreshing. Of course, I'm happy football is back, but then the pain is also back, right? Over the weekend.
Pain because you're a Manchester United fan. Let's clarify, not because of your FPL, because you've actually had a good start to the season.
Yeah, but still, it's FPL is still painful. No, I'm kidding. Look, it's fun. Yes, mostly because of Man United, and we didn't end up getting the number one target, Thomas Tuchel, who has now gone to England. Now, I also support England, so I'm happy that he's gone to England, but not happy as a Man United fan. But that is what it is.
So you wanted Ten Hag gone, yeah, Pras, yeah?
I just think it's time for change. Like I think
Yeah,
I think he's a good manager. I think he'll find a new club and he'll do well.
yeah.
And much like most Man United people who associate with Man United end up doing, right? They have a terrible time at Man United. They leave and they do well. Like look at Herrera, look at Sancho. There's so many examples of players who leave and then they do fine. So
Agree. Agree. We're not going to turn this into a Manchester United pod, but I want one more thing. So you think it's a good signing for England?
I think so, yeah.
You think so,
Like
yeah?
maybe it's easier for me to say because the whole thing of Englishman needs to be an English coach. Well, I wasn't born English. I am by passport now
Yeah.
British, but I supported England since I was since I was 10 years old, 11 years old, and I've always wished for a manager which is basically one of the top managers. And I think we've never actually, I think Sven was close, Capello was close.
Capello was a top manager, surely.
Yeah, but again, didn't get the tune out of the
Yeah.
team. But yeah, I think with English managers, Hoddle, I was there for his early days, Euro
Yeah.
'96 and stuff. But apart from that, I can't think of a manager that was so elite that you were excited that this manager is going to do something in the Euros or in the World Cup. You were always like, can we win despite the manager? Like we had Roy Hodgson, for God's sake. I mean,
Don't
um,
remind me of him.
so Southgate wasn't that great either. So yeah, I mean that's all I'll have
Southgate
to
done
say.
really well. I mean, you mean like he got to
Outcome
finals?
versus process. Like I think he was good. He was good in various aspects of being an England
Yeah,
manager.
yeah,
Like being an England manager is not just about what you do on the pitch, what you do outside. How do you motivate the group of players? How do you deal with the press? He was amazing at that. I would
yeah,
say
yeah.
almost elite level at that, and that transpired with good results on the pitch. Little bit lucky with some draws, but I don't think if you gave any other manager the same draws that Southgate got, maybe he wouldn't have been as successful. So taking nothing away from him, but I think the team has sort of outgrown him. Like right now, this England team has, I would say, 5 players that could be future Ballon d'Or winners. Like that's how good the England team is right now.
So
Maybe not the winner, but top 3 for sure. Like Bellingham, you could say Foden, you could say Palmer.
Palmer,
I would put Palmer in that category.
Trent.
I would put Trent, Saka, Kane. That's 6.
Yeah,
So maybe it's a little late for Kane, but I think the other 5 definitely, like in 5 years, they could have a peak, which is something incredible. And so that team deserves an elite manager, and that's
you're
what I think.
selling
What
it
do you
to me.
think?
You're selling it to me. I think he's a good manager, and it just showed me the FA are willing to do whatever it takes to win, and I respect that because obviously they've gone against the grain. There's a lot of people that are not happy, which some of it I can understand a little bit as it's international football, but if you look at it from the perspective, they're trying to give the country what they want, and that's success. And they've just gone out there and they don't care where you're from. They just want the best manager available. And that was him. So fair play.
Do you know in the early 2000s there was this thing of, oh, look at Arsenal's lineup, all 11 players are non-English. Do
I
you
remember
remember this?
that. Of course, I remember that.
And people used to go, who cares? Like, fine, okay, it's better for the English game if there's more English players, but look what happened. Like, English players were then playing around the best of the best of the best, and we got great English players. So it was not a case of you have to have a quota system where 5, 6 players need to be English for the English players to do well. It was just old dinosaur mentality that you should have, the spine should be British, or the spine in the English Premier League for most teams should be English. Nobody cares. It's like if it's within the rules, if the rules say your manager can be any nationality,
I think, Praz, that's coming from football long time ago, especially, was always players were sourced from the local area, especially. I mean, this is time ago. I know it's changed big time because now the whole world is the pool of players, but a lot of clubs did have the fond, like you can bond closer with a local lad. That's why Trent is so popular at Liverpool. They don't want him to leave, or Curtis Jones.
I
But
get that. I get that.
all the clubs are struggling with this. I see Real Madrid. I'm trying to think off my head. Do they have a Spanish player? Carvajal's injured. So, and they've had troubles before in the past with specific issues. And when I look at their team now, just young elite players from all over Earth, basically, I think all the clubs now, that's the way it's gone now. I don't think anyone's
It's
gonna,
because capitalism has ruled the game in terms of like they want success. So
yeah,
nobody is saying, "Oh, I want the next third best Spanish player. If I can get the second best Brazilian youngster, or I can get the best Argentinian, they'll go for the best Argentinian." Like that's just the way it is now. And so I think with football at international level, it should be similar. Like we will probably only have 10 years with these 5 Ballon d'Or players. Maybe give it 12.
yeah.
Right? So are you going to waste another 12 years getting Eddie Howe? Like, man, I mean, okay, Eddie Howe, respect to him, Graham Potter. Also, I think these are good coaches.
They're good
These are not
coaches, yeah.
elite coaches. They don't know how to play Mbappe like in a final of a World Cup. So anyway, I
But
have
the other
very strong
perspective, I know, just to finish off on it as well, there's two things I wanted to say. The other perspective is, you could argue this is a bad sign for, it's already quite worrying for English coaches. They're not really getting a top job. You mentioned two of them there, and is this the nail in the coffin for prospective young English coaches? Like,
No.
as in, it's just one thing I want to put out there.
I mean, look, I don't know if you watched the rest is football thing, but Gary Lineker made this point after the announcement, and he said, "Look,
I did watch it, yeah.
always the managers lag behind the players, and so as the players are getting better, there is a little bit of a lagging effect where in 5 or 10 years the managers will also catch up. Like the whole thing at grassroots is changing. You see little kids playing out of the back, like Guardiola system, where split center backs and stuff. Like people are watching that football, the coaches are watching, and people are evolving. And I think it will take time. Yes, you could add more money. The FA could add more money to the grassroots to pay more managers and stuff. Of course, all of that is true. But I think it's the same thing as, Arsenal have 7 French players but no English players. I mean, bullshit. It's fine. I think you'll get good English managers, elite English managers in due course. But right now, there's 3 in the Premier League and they're not that great.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just thought I had to put that out there because that was the only other perspective. If even your national team is doing that sort of, but bring in whoever the best is, I don't care where they're from, then you've got hardly any chance at club level, where it is even more ruthless, where, that's why football, Atletico Bilbao, you know what they do, yeah, Praz?
Yeah, what do they do?
The Basque team, they only play players from there. That's why they're so wealthy. They only play players from their Basque region.
Right.
So
right.
that's, that's why it's so difficult to buy players off them, because they're so rich. They don't need the money. So yeah, impressive. But anyway, that's enough for international football. Let's get straight into our teams. But before I even bring up my team, which has got dilemmas, obviously. So I know why you brought me in, Praz, to host with you, because my team's always got dilemmas.
Dude, Flapjack always had dilemmas in his goalkeeper, so at least it's nice and refreshing. Oh, actually, you got dilemmas as a goalkeeper this week.
there's still dilemmas. Unlike your team rolling every week. So let's get straight into it. So the first player I'm going to mention is Sells. Gorgeous fixture, actually, at home to Crystal Palace, but he's yellow flagged. I did see a picture earlier on suggesting that he might be fit, but I've not validated it, Praz, if I'm honest with you.
What picture was that?
On training picture. I think Nottingham Forest put out some pictures today, and there was one of him, I think. But as I said, someone tagged me in on Twitter. But
honestly, someone tags me and says that Sells, I'm like, okay, if you say so.
I know.
I'm not very sure if I can pick him out of a lineup.
And more worrying, it could have been a picture from 2 weeks. I've not had a chance. I'm not going to get too excited, but I will come back to him. Let me run through the whole team first. Then after that, I've got Trent versus Chelsea, Lewis versus Wolves, and Gabriel. So if Sells is fit, the back four is lovely. I'm happy with that. In midfield, Luis Diaz and Bumo, and then I've got Saka, who's yellow flagged, and Rogers. And up top, I've got Dominic Solanke. No, sorry, what am I talking about? Calvert-Lewin. Haaland, who's
my
captain.
Team again.
Yeah, and Havertz. So that's the starting 11. In the bench, obviously, I'm not going to mention the goalkeeper, but first sub, which is an important one to discuss, Semenyo, Mikalenko, second sub, and Greaves. Okay. So starting with the first dilemma is sales. Now, as you know, Praz, I've had a difficult start to the season trying to keep a roller transfer over. Every week I've had a fire. First time I've actually got 2 transfers this week because I wildcarded, so I've been okay. So this would really hurt me if I found out Sales was out, especially as the next couple of fixtures are lovely. And he had an excellent performance before the international break, Praz. I don't know if you remember. I think it was against Chelsea. He was very, very good.
And he even
And
got
they're
a bonus,
solid
did he?
defensively.
In that game, did he get a bonus or just lots of
I think he got
clean
3
saves?
points, I
Saves.
think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
But he did
That
have a
was-
good game. I think he'll
Yeah.
be fine, man. Like, I think it was an IB injury. Like, all 4 of your yellow flags, I think they'll all be fine.
Yeah, I think Mikalenko, my second bench, is already being pictured in training. That one is official, so that's positive. So that yellow flag can go. In fact, that screenshot was taken before they've updated it on the official FPL site. Okay. So Sales is the one that, for me, long as he's good. But I should discuss, what would you, if he was in my position, Praz, if he was potentially out, just say, whether it's 1 week, would you do a change? Because this has been going from here, or do I just play with 10 players and keep that transfer? Is that more powerful?
Well, question is to who, right? I mean, if I looked at a wild card now, who would my keeper be in terms of cheap options? I don't think there's many that stand out. Like,
there isn't.
Kelleher could be one, but then you have to again deal with him. So I would be tempted to just start with Raya, like if I had one, but you don't have the funds in the bank, right, to go up to Raya.
0.3. Nah.
So that rules out like Flecken against Man United. You don't need to go there now. Sanchez against Liverpool, not really.
Not great.
So I don't see an out. Like, I think you just pray, unless he's like confirmed out and he could be out for more than a week. Then you need to deal with it.
That's the key. That's when, and I'm limited. I'd have to go Flecken or something. Where else could I go? I don't think I can get to Pickford. I can't. Yeah, I'm limited. So,
I mean, Flecker's fixtures after this week are very good again for 5 weeks. So that's something to think about that you could do. But I think, look, I think Sales will be fine.
Yeah, I agree. So that's actually a real potential dilemma. Hopefully it's cleared, because I don't want to make a goalkeeper transfer. No one does. Defense, I said to you earlier on, I'm really comfortable. I like these fixtures. Even Liverpool against Chelsea, I'm happy with that. I fancy, if it's not a clean sheet, which is unlikely, but a return for Trent, you've seen him play for England under Carsey. What's that? 3 man of the matches in 4 games.
He also in the league has like 3 XGI, which is more than most midfielders. So
he's been very good this season, Braz. And not even just FPL, just football performance wise. I know people are very quick to turn on him when they say, 1v1, he's a bit suspect. So I heard Roy Keane's comments after the game saying he's terrible defensively, and I was thinking, like, that's a bit harsh there. Lewis had a bad game, but Pep will still play him, and he's the best manager in the world. Trent starts for Liverpool. So there's something with these players, they offer you more than the occasional blip in defense. But anyway, Trent, I'm happy against Chelsea. Lewis, long as he starts, I'm more than happy. And Gabriel against Bournemouth, come on, surely, if conceded in the last 2 games, Praz, but surely there's a clean sheet there.
Absolutely. They're due. I think so. I think they might get one. Away there, this whole thing of they're better away. Maybe that's
because they're more focused, I think. It's just the focus. They go out there.
I don't really buy this thing, man. They're professional footballers. What do you mean they're focused? Like, are they not focused at home?
No, sometimes, you know what? A couple of percent drop, Praz, it can happen. Because think about it. They're going the last 2 games. They're both at the Emirates. They know they're going to win. Now, I know against the press, they're trained to talk about, you know what? Respect my... But if you spoke to them privately, if you was in their WhatsApp groups, they'll be like, you know what? We need to brush this team. Like, it's easy. So, and that can creep in. So that's what I mean by that. We're in a away game.
No, look, I understand a bit, but I feel sometimes we overblow it. Like, they had 0.2 XG against Leicester, but shit happens. They scored. If they have 0.2 XG in 5 matches, they'll concede 1 goal.
They will concede, but there is something. No, there is something at times, Praz, where players do step up. How comes against PSG? So against Leicester?
No. So that's because they're a very good defense. What I'm saying is, in most games, they will have 0.2, 0.3 XG conceded. Sometimes they will concede with that 0.2, 0.3, like James Justin scores 2 worldies.
That was a stunner.
And sometimes they will keep a clean sheet with 0.6 XG conceded. So it's, look, I'm with you. There's a footballing.
But you don't believe it, yeah? You don't believe it, Praz.
No, I feel we exaggerate it.
I've played in games where we know when we was younger going out, and we know we're gonna win. It's like unless something crazy happens, and all of a sudden I'm starting to see defenders doing superstar passes, or they're taking their time, or that couple of seconds too late. These lot are susceptible as well. Don't be fooled,
If their XG conceded was higher in home games, I would understand. But if the XG
Yeah.
conceded is lower, then the data doesn't back up the concentration point. All I'm saying, I mean, look, I'm agreeing
Watch a
with you.
clean sheet this week, Prez.
Outcome.
Yeah.
So we'll
Watch
see.
a clean sheet this week, Prez.
It can happen. I agree. With you.
Yeah. I fancy it against Bournemouth. Watch, they're going to be ready for it after this.
Well, we're benching Semenyo, so if he wipes out the clean sheet, I won't mind it because I don't have double Arsenal defense.
Yeah, nor do I actually. Yeah. So if anyone does score though, I've only got one.
Semenyo to score.
Oh, you prefer that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that? How much? The percentage is already gone. One defender's not enough, so we lose. You're saying we're losing points here, Praz, every time.
Of course,
there's a clean sheet for the doubles. I didn't know the number went that fast, but I should think the wild card
amongst elite managers, like don't look at top 10K, right? Now, those guys, there's a lot of bad teams.
There's some random teams there.
Yeah. So I think you still have to always compare against some elite teams, and I think more often than not, every team has one. Many teams have two. So you're better off if they concede, and if you're even more better off if it's Semenyo, because you have a little bit of protection. Well, Semenyo plays earlier, so you have some protection if somebody misses out. But more importantly, he becomes in demand. More people want your players. Your structure is what people are going for. So your sub-scoring is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. But sometimes it annoys you though, Price. Think about it. When you got 3 players on your team that give you 1 point and you see your sub of 9 or 10 points. You say it's a good thing. It doesn't feel like a good thing on that game week.
It doesn't, but structurally, long term, it's good.
I get your point. But so defense and the back four, if they all start, I'm more than happy with. Let's go to Diaz. So a lot of people, he's a big talking point. Traveling, he scored, by the way, for his country again, keeping up his good form.
Played 70-ish minutes.
Yep.
Nobody posted about his private jet. Did he not take a private jet? Did you
I've not seen him taking a private. Did he come?
I feel like he took like air.
Did he come on EasyJet
or something? Air Colombia with two transits for 4 hours each.
No, I saw a lot of jokes about that online. Is it Chris Wood as well, traveling back from? They were saying he had 5 days. People were concerned. I'm like, what do you think he's coming in? Like a donkey and cart? Like, no, these players are, come on, they're flying in whatever the most expensive flights are. But for me, I don't mind this fixture against Chelsea. I know they've picked up last couple of games, especially in attack, but I fancy us against Chelsea this weekend at home.
So you're saying Diaz should start and you fancy your Liverpool to win?
Yeah. Definitely fancy Liverpool to win.
What makes you think Diaz will start? Apart from just the fact that you think it's a Chelsea game and he's like,
I think it's a big game, and Slot will want to go into this. We've had a nice start to the season and we've dealt with it apart from Nottingham Forest. I think the next run of fixtures now, the microscope will be on Slot now. And you want to kick it off in the strongest way possible. Now, logic says, yes, what's his name? Gakpo, who's had an excellent season, still playing well, probably not travel nowhere near as far. You should start him. I think Slot prefers. It looks like Diaz is one of the favourites. So I can see the main front three starting, Praz. Maybe they'll come off early, but for me personally, if I had to make a prediction now, obviously, I say the main front three start. Chelsea's it's not, they're picking up, as I said, Price. It's not like you're playing. If it was a really weak team, maybe you could afford to mix it up a little bit more. But no, I think strong front three.
So you are playing on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And then you travel to RB Leipzig. So this is a home game. And then you travel to RB Leipzig on a Wednesday. So that's also good that you have, I mean, if you're Sunday, then it's going to be Wednesday. And then the next game is also Arsenal, which is basically on the Sunday. So it's Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, which is okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
And one extra day for Diaz to rest. So we'll come to my team, and I'm also inclined to hold him. Obviously, we'll hear from Arnie Slot tomorrow. But go to Rob T's graphic, and I just wanted to make a point that the markets are actually very strongly backing what you're saying. Like, actually, go to the next one first. So if you look at this, Liverpool are like 58% to win. And Chelsea are only 20% to win, and a draw is about 22%. So overwhelmingly, in fact, it's the third most likely result in the week.
Yep.
Spurs win, Man City win, and then Arsenal are as likely to win as Liverpool. That's actually very surprising to me.
Yeah. That's because Liverpool, first of all, it's the Anfield fixture. And I did say to you, Chelsea, we know the attack is formidable. But the defense, when you look at them, against Liverpool's matchup, I think they're going to concede chances. That's the reality of it. They're going to concede a lot of chances. So whether if Liverpool we turn up and take them, Praz, that's the big difference, of course. But that's the reason the markets have Liverpool. Like
And they have Cucurella and Fofana out as well, right?
that's my
So
point. So
I'll be
I mean,
curious.
even if they had them playing, not being rude, you'd fancy playing against those two. So I would.
See, the thing
Like
is, you're a bit unknown, man. Like, no matter, like, you're a Liverpool fan, so there's a little bit of a bias. But to me,
maybe a
as a
little.
neutral, like, Slot has not been tested, right? There's been no tough fixture that he's had since he joined. So, like, I won't be
Yeah.
surprised if either team wins 2-0 here.
Like,
Like,
by a
maybe, of
2-goal
course,
margin.
yeah, like
3-1, I
like,
can see Liverpool scoring 2 or 3 goals.
But even Chelsea could win. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if
I
Chelsea
would
win
be.
2-1.
Nah, I'd be shocked. If Liverpool playing like the full back four and stuff. Oh yeah, maybe not Allison. You know what? Maybe I need to pipe down a little bit because no, Allison does best goalkeeper in the world missing will make a small percentage, albeit the backups are pretty good. But yeah, maybe maybe I'm getting too carried away. But anyway, the point is, if I go back, I like it. I like this fixture, and I think Gakpo can play midweek in the Champions League. It's no problem.
Yeah,
I think this is the bigger game, Praz. To start this run of fixture, this is the important one. Like it honestly is. We need to win this game at home. And not even to talk about winning the league. I'm not even going to even mention that, but more just to keep the sort of momentum we've kept from the start of the season. So I think it's a vital one. What do you think? Diaz won't start, Prez? If you had to guess right now,
I think if I had to predict, I'll say he'll start. I agree with you that it's an important game, and he's there in their first choice 11.
Yeah.
Now, Gakpo is a very able deputy, but I have seen Diaz also play on the right instead of Salah. So who is to say that Diaz starts and he doesn't have to have an early sub off? Like, there are other options. So I feel like it's fine. I think minutes wise, if you get 70 minutes out of Diaz at home, it's not a bad, the alternatives for Diaz are people can go down to Maddison or to Johnson or to Kulusevski, or they can go up to Son or to Palmer. But I don't see or Foden. But I don't see the value of going to a Palmer this week with the Liverpool away fixture. Foden, yes, you can go. Like, if some people want to go Diaz to Foden, I think that is doable. But
his minutes, though,
I don't mind it.
I mean, the Manchester City's fixtures.
You reckon that's it?
Do you reckon that's out the window now? He's going to be starting now. Fitness is there. Whatever's happened at the start, you reckon? Yeah, I know there's no KDB. He wasn't pictured in training, and all that stuff. So you think Foden?
Fine.
You think so? Yeah, because I do actually like that. Prince. I do like that move. I can't afford to get it from there, but if Saka say was actually really injured, I think that would be my move.
Well, if Saka's really injured, I'll come to my team. But then I'm not going to go Foden. I'm going to go Johnson.
I know you're going to, yeah. Oh, Brennan.
Yeah, because then next week I can do Diaz to Palmer.
That's what I thought you would do. You can't. You could possibly do it all in one go, but save that, Prez. Save it for. We'll come and look at that because I want to actually ask you about that in the order.
So we'll talk about Saka as a separate sort of discussion item. Yeah. But okay, Diaz, I'm with you that I'm also inclined to keep him unless Slot is saying something tomorrow, which is like a curveball.
Agree, totally agree. So after that, Mbumo, lovely fixture against your mob. Albeit though, did you see they're showing you guys to give them a good beating?
Well, Man United should win this game. Like, Brentford have been shocking defensively.
Yeah, but you say that. But Manchester United are toothless, Prez, and there's a lot of heavy baggage on all of those players' shoulders. You've got injuries everywhere. Managers under pressure. I'm not sure. You were surprised by Liverpool's stats. I'm surprised by Manchester United stats here. Honest truth.
Brentford is away from home. We can take them. They're going to play probably a 5 at the back.
Yeah.
So I see a low scoring, a 2-1 kind of game, maybe a 1-1. So it's not going to be a big fixture for any team, but I still fancy. I mean, Man United aren't going to win a few games this year, so it's not like we're getting relegated. And I think this home game is okay. I think Brentford have been quite shocking defensively, so I fancy a couple of goals and Bruno Fernandes to get a return.
Fair play. Okay, we'll give you that one there. We can see actually Man United.
And Mbumo to score as well. Of course, he will.
Yeah, more than likely will actually. Yeah. And then after that is Saka. Like you said, we're gonna talk about him in a bit more detail. Gorgeous fixture, really good performance before the international break. And the last midfielder in my 3-4-3 is Rodgers against Fulham away. versus Semenyo versus Arsenal. Like
That's fair.
that's why I've got this bench in order. But the point I was going to say to you, Praz, I actually like Semenyo. It's just a shame it's Arsenal. I prefer Semenyo than I think Rodgers.
Yeah, but you just told me Arsenal are keeping a clean sheet.
No, that's why do you think he's on the bench? I'm just saying to you, it's a shame. It's a shame
Ah,
that
yeah,
way
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't
yeah.
be,
But,
if you know what I mean. He's playing
but have
Arsenal.
you looked at Semenyo's fixtures after game week 12?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Look,
In fact, game week 11 even.
yeah.
So
I've only got
like
it up
both,
to game week 13 here, but yeah, they do pick up, don't they?
so Brentford, Brighton, Wolves, and then for the foreseeable, they're very good. So I think
Yeah.
if you can manage to bench Semenyo for Arsenal home, Villa away, Man City home, and you can instead play your Aston Villa guy, Rogers, for Fulham, Bournemouth, and Spurs, which actually feels okay. Bournemouth, especially at home, Spurs is always, high scoring. If his minutes hold up, then it's a very nice move to then start playing Semenyo again. So I don't feel like touching those two players because after 10,
Yeah.
they're good for the foreseeable. Actually, after 12, they both have good fixtures for the foreseeable. So it's actually a nice little rotation.
Agree. Both putting having great seasons. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you there. I'd like to keep that as well as possible. So Rogers, yeah, last midfielder up front now. Surely Calvert-Lewin. This is the fixture, Prez.
This is the
This has
fixture.
got to be the fixture.
This is the fixture. This or the next one. Next three of his are I'm too good. Like I'm not selling him before those three.
Okay, so let's go back to the fixtures. Ipswich, Fulham, and Southampton. So even if he blanks this game week, it doesn't matter. He's getting the next three, full stop.
100%. Like that's not the slot I want to change because that's just those are three games that I expect Everton to score 2 goals each. So 6 goals. If he ends up getting nothing in 6, I will cry a little. But otherwise, I'll just say, fine, move on. Like, by then, João Pedro will be fit and that's where he goes.
Be honest with me, Prez. If I reverse back to our wild card now, would you swap him for Wood?
Well, I didn't have any money in the bank left, so I couldn't have.
It was only
I had
0.1 at the time. Or was that how tight your team was? Yeah, was it?
I'm 0.0. I'm still 0.0, the team that you will see.
Oh, you
So I couldn't
squeezed
have gone anyway.
If the money was there, then
Of course, hindsight is 2020. So yeah, I mean, if because Wood scored in his tougher game because I didn't want Wood to play in the Liverpool game and he ends up scoring anyway. But yeah, now Wood has good fixtures and Calvert-Lewin also has good fixtures. So I probably think Wood is better now for the next 3. But who knows?
And isn't it? He's got the penalties as well, Prez. That's the extra bonus that threw us off.
Both have penalties.
No, but I know. But Wood before was that we didn't expect him to even take them. Remember when Gibbs White was on?
He had taken the pen in game week 5, so we knew he's on pens by game week 6, so we can't blame that.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying to you, that's an extra. I'm saying
it's
Wood
extra.
now.
Yeah. But then the negative is Morgan Gibbs White isn't there to create. I feel if he's injured, you've lost a massive creator in the team.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so Calvert-Lewin. Hopefully, this is the game week. It's got to be. It's very disappointing that since the wild card. After that, I'm going to
pressure on a poor 5-6 million striker. Man.
There's pressure. There's pressure.
Next 3 weeks, forget about him. He doesn't exist. He will get you 2 goals in the next 3 games.
Praz, I'm the kind of manager trying to squeeze every penny out, even these budget players. And I'm in desperate times, so I need him to get these goals. I want at least 1 goal. 1.
In the next 3?
No, in the next game against Ipswich.
That's too much pressure on poor Dominic. I mean, his goal scoring odds will be like 35%. So you're basically saying you want to get lucky 35%. You can, but
yeah, no, we need that. We need it, Prez. Okay. After that, Haaland, current captain against Wolves. This looks like, again, if we went back to let's have a look at this. Where is it? Where's Manchester City?
Haaland is no-brainer captain, man. This week there's no discussion.
I know. When you look at the fixture, the predicted goals, near 3 goals, look at Wolves' clean sheet odds, Perez, the way Wolves have played this season. At first, I think there was one stage we started to think maybe the Chelsea game was just a random game. Because it was, to be fair, XG-wise wasn't great. But they are conceding chances and the worst team possible, City's coming to town.
Yet everyone wants to buy their defender next week.
Oh, Nori.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I've not me. I've not considered him yet. Why is he on your transfer?
I mean, next week we'll talk about when I come to my team, but a lot of people will be moving towards Diaz to Palmer and Trent to a cheap defender. And from next
Yeah.
week, 8 Nourish fixtures are actually wonderful. So it fits. So I'm not making fun of it because I might do it myself.
You
But
might
yeah,
be there. You
yeah, exactly.
and you know, people in the comments will be like, Praz, you just said last week. Eight Nori was, yeah, I know what you're saying. But yeah, I think he's the obvious captain this week. This is one of the, well, this week I couldn't even find an alternative, to be honest. So yeah, Haaland captain. And last in my attack is Havertz.
Yeah.
Now
Talk
he's
to me
yellow
about him.
flagged. He's not been seen training as well, Praz. So before we started the video, and we
Yeah,
should
but Arsenal do that. They're dirty. Like they do that.
yes, yeah, I know. You know, Arteta, he's got any tactic, any percent he can gain. But then again, it wasn't just him; it was 7 players missing from training today, Praz.
Yeah, so they're just dirty. Like they
So
will all
do
be fine.
you think they're gonna start Saka and Havertz both?
I think they'll both start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Like
hoping, but
Bournemouth
if he
away is not
does,
some baby fixture that they can take lightly. Like they battered Chelsea.
yeah, yeah. If he doesn't start though, so I've got 2 transfers, Praz. I would be tempted to go Solanke. Okay,
But you will not know. So you have to
I'm
take a call
I'm
regardless.
hoping one of the in the nose or someone spots something pops out. But you're right. If not, I will take the gamble, Praz, and use my first sub. Simple as that. I think that's the
Mm.
gamble. If I don't know, but if there is a certainty, I'm saying on the premise we do get something. We're not going to get it from Arteta, but what if we get it from another source? You never know.
Yeah, fair.
Remember last time they tracked Raya on the coach at the hotel? These fans out there,
Mhm.
Praz,
Okay, we'll see. I hope. I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, he could be fine. He could be in the hotel, but how do you know he starts?
yeah, I know. That's why, but I would gamble anyway. If I don't, unless I'm hearing something that he's definitely not like not starting, then I'll buy possibly Solanke. But if not, I want to stay with him. My plan is to roll this week, Prez. Simple as that, and go to 3 transfers for next week. That's what I would do this week.
But
Bench
tell me, why do you want 3? What are you going to do next week with 3?
nothing. No, just for the sake of when my team's in trouble, or when I see moves that I want to make. This week, I'm not. Here's what I'll tell you what I'm waiting for, Prez. So I want more knowledge on Foden. I know you was comfortable earlier on. You said no, Mo, he's
Dude,
back
Foden
90
bus is
minutes.
going, man. Foden bus goes after this week and next week. Foden bus has gone away.
It's okay. It can go. I'm not desperate for that bus. I'll chase it to the next stop prize. It's cool. So
Okay.
Foden, I'll watch. And Palmer's fixture this week is not ideal, even if I could get there anyway. It's not ideal fixture. What's the other one? I'd like to see Son coming back as well. That's a fair point. He's gone down in price as well. Fixtures are gorgeous.
Mhm.
Let's see the situation there. I know Andrew already said that he's training. So let's have a look there. So that's one of the reasons I'm not doing it. I'm not going for one extreme price, using a transfer every week. And then just because I can save them, I'm going to save them for the sake of it. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually happy with the team if they all fit here, Praz. I think Havertz matches Solanke like this week. I know West Ham.
Yeah,
I know they're in, but I think he matches him this week if he plays. So there's no panic there. Saka this week is cool as well. He's still with me, Praz. Let me just see.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. I think it just done a little freeze. But yeah. So what do you think, Praz? You think that I should be more aggressive, from your opinion?
Look, the way I see it is, actually, why don't we now revert to my team because it's very similar. So I can talk about the thinking. So basically, I have Edison instead of yourselves, right? And little bit of difference in bench. But the way I see it is, my move next week will 90% be Palmer in that Diaz spot, right?
Yeah.
So if to get Palmer, I will need to downgrade Trent to a 4.5 million defender. But even then, I can't do that because if I do Diaz to Palmer, Trent will have to go to a 4 million defender. So I can't do that. So I will need another 0.5. Where do I get the 0.5? Havertz to Solanke.
Yeah.
So I can see that next week, if I will want Palmer, I will have to do Havertz to Solanke. If this week Havertz and Solanke, they may be similar, but if the market odds are telling you that Solanke is 10% higher in goal scoring odds, if Spurs are whatever 0.5 expected goals more than Arsenal,
Yeah, they are.
there's a little bit of a yellow flag. So I'm going to say Havertz is 95% available, not 100, not 50, 95%. That slightly also further brings it down a little bit. I just do it this week. because I know that I need to do it next week. So I just do it this week. That's the
That
thinking.
makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. I can see that, especially because you're already got your future moves planned. Where I've not even planned that far ahead. I'm not sure about losing Trent yet. That's a tricky
And
one for me.
the other thing is, I will 100% have to lose Havertz, because in
Yeah.
my long term plans, so not just next week plans, the long term plan is that Edison will become Raya. So I want a
Yes.
double Arsenal defense long term, not double Arsenal attack.
Yeah. I
So
remember we discussed this. Yeah.
I need to release my Arsenal slot so that I can get to Raya later. That's always been the plan. So therefore, all the reasons point to Havertz to Solanke just make simple sense that I just do it this week, and then then next week see where I go with it. So that's my thinking. That's why I think I will do Havertz to Solanke regardless. Like, the only scenario in which I may not do Havertz to Solanke is if Saka is confirmed out completely. Because if Saka is confirmed out completely and Havertz is completely fine, then who's going to take
Penalties.
penalties?
Yeah.
So in that scenario, maybe I can wait, but I personally think Saka will be fine.
So that move is your one move this week, yeah? Has you got 3 transfers to confirm?
I've got 3 free transfers.
3 free transfers. That one you do this week. Hold the 2 for next week.
I'll have
Ready
again 3
to
next week.
What's that? Say that again.
I'll
You'll
have
have 3 next
free
week. Sorry,
transfers.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when you do your movements to bring Palmer in.
So that's when I'll do Diaz to Palmer, Trent
Yeah.
to Ait Nouri, or I could even do Dunk or somebody like that, because even Brighton rotate well with my defense. So, remember the Brighton Brentford defense rotation. So I could do that. So that's the thinking, that I will probably do that move. But if Chelsea underwhelm, I could, like you, also think about getting Son. Now I can't get Foden because I have triple Man City
Oh
already.
yeah, yes, yeah.
But I'm open to getting Son. Like, I don't think there's much in it between Son and Foden, especially if going next week. Like, yes, Foden will have the better fixture next week, but then Son also plays Ipswich at home in 3 weeks. So I think either are fine next week. So I'm
Who do you
leaving all
prefer
my
out of
options
those 2,
open.
Prez? If there was,
So
forget like Son, yeah? Out of
if I
Son
knew
and
Son
Foden,
is
sorry.
starting, Son is starting this week, like, there's a little bit of uncertainty he's coming back from injury. Over the next 4, I prefer Son. And I'm not
Even
just
though
saying that because I have triple Man City. I genuinely think that Son on penalties with better minutes is better.
even though
As
he's going to be played wide, obviously because of Solanke, he's playing really well up
Son has
front.
always played
And
wide, man. His whole career.
I know, but I agree with you. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, the last couple of games, actually, Werner done pretty well there. We know he doesn't score goals as well, so that could impact his minutes, like come off a bit earlier if they're going to manage
You
him.
remember the Son and Kane? That's your Son and Solanke. Like, I think getting them both now. I think Johnson is also good, but Son is better, man. Son is better.
Son is better, yeah. I'd agree with that. I like Son. That's one of the reasons I said I would hold up Press to have a little look this week. It might be too early this game week, even though Am said he's training, he's good to go. But yeah, that's one of the ones.
You
But
never know.
talk to me about Trent. You're comfortable. You see the gain from Palmer. It's just so big. It's so good, Prez, that you don't mind losing an asset like Trent. This is strictly a fixture play, or because you just need the money. Like, it's a combination
It's
of both.
mostly I need the money. Like, I would have not sold Trent ever.
I thought so. Yeah.
But when you're away to Arsenal, then it just gives you a little bit of a reason to say, okay, maybe I can sell him and get him back after he's played Arsenal and Man City, which he does in the next 2 out of the next 5. Right?
Yeah.
So you just fancy Arsenal and Man City to score as a minimum. Like, even the Brighton and Aston Villa games, they're at home. Like, okay, maybe he keeps 2 clean sheets in Brighton, Aston Villa, and Southampton. But in the 5, when I see Arsenal, when I see Man City, I'm just like, okay, maybe for a short period, get Palmer a little bit early, and then we take it from there. That would be the thinking.
And Chelsea's fixtures are not exactly great themselves, are they, though, Prez?
Well, Newcastle at home, I think, is good. Man United away, we've just talked about how Brentford will batter us. So now that there's no manager change, like, I fancy that to be a 2-all game or something like that. Arsenal at home is the tough one.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to wait, you could wait until Arsenal home and then get him for Leicester away, Aston Villa. In fact, I do this team selection thing for the Wire, where I had done a fixture ticker from game week 12 until the winter break, and Chelsea are top. So by game week 12, everybody will have Palmer.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
It's a case of just going 2-3 weeks earlier and getting Newcastle home and Man United away.
Okay. I'll see your point. Yeah, because I agree with you. He will be in everyone's team. So you're trying to make the gains a little bit earlier before Palmer all of a sudden isn't so special. I mean, having
Like,
said that, his ownership's pretty high anyway. My God.
I mean, it's high in the top 10K because people who have him are in the top 10K.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's just the structure that has worked out is if you have Palmer, Saka, and Haaland, right? Or Palmer, Saka, Salah, something like that. So
Yeah.
that structure has worked out for points, and those people are well ahead. So, but that doesn't mean you have to have Palmer. It just means that, yeah, I think long term the structure is going to be Saka plus Palmer plus either Haaland or Salah. So I think if you get your Saka and Palmer up now, then I think you're good. You're set.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree with you there. Yeah. There's not much. Trent, though, is going to hurt me to lose Trent if I have to do that. I don't really want to do that. I'm trying to think there's another option, possibly another reason why I'm going to wait another game week.
Yeah, no, I think just keeping Trent this week, like there's no defender you want to get this week necessarily and sell Trent.
No.
Like why?
No.
Like in most projections, Trent is like the second highest expected points this week
Yeah.
after Porro, I think. So yeah, I think he's an easy hold. Let's just talk about Saka before we go.
Yeah.
So what are you doing if Saka is not in the hotel, not in the bus? Arteta
Not
is
in the
also
bus. He's
not
not being
confirming.
tracked. He's not being tracked
Yeah.
by the fans out there. This it's easier for me if Havertz is actually not tracked, but Saka's one does worry me because then I might even go Brennan Johnson. You know,
I think
I'm
I'll
thinking,
go Saka to Johnson as well.
yeah, I'd go Saka to Johnson. That's what I would do because Son, like I said to you a minute ago, Praz, I couldn't get to Palmer easily yet this game week, and Son I'm not sure about yet. Foden I'm still not sure about yet. So I think I'll just do Brennan Johnson, which hopefully. He's good to go. I know he had that is it international injury, fake injury, but yeah, hopefully he's good to go. And I like him. He's playing well at the moment. So and he's cheap as well. So
yeah,
that's why. What would you do?
I would do Johnson.
Out?
I would do Johnson.
Yeah.
Because then I would have Solanke and Johnson for this nice juicy home fixture, home to West Ham, and then keep Solanke and Johnson for the next three, where I get Ipswich at home as well. And by going Johnson, I can go Diaz to Palmer next week.
That's exactly what it is.
It frees firepower.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It will free up the money, give you the week to assess. Yeah, from my perspective, I think I'm in the same position there. But is it looking at the fixtures? Is it ridiculous to consider, Praz? There, I'm going to say it. I started with these two in game week 1 to 5. You know what I'm going to mention? I'm hearing talk about Bruno.
No,
and is it no chance? No chance. Yeah, not even. But there is this. The reason I'm mentioning it because someone might have dilemmas out there, or they've only got enough budget, and that's. But yeah, you'd rather go Brennan Johnson than Bruno, even though
Ten Hag is still there. Don't waste time. Menu is also now injured. Don't waste time with Bruno. Like he could do well. We have to always caveat it because players can score points. They're allowed to score goals.
Yeah, he's a penalty taker as well.
Yeah. Like if Dibbling can score points, Bruno can score points. So it's not like he can't, but I just don't see it as a buy while Ten Hag is still manager. And now we've lost Menu. Ugarte is out. I won't even be surprised if he's a little bit more withdrawn in his role and Mount starts. Like I'm not trying to scare anyone. Most likely we'll have...
you are scaring them, Prez.
Well, they should be already scared, so I can't scare them anymore.
And what about Eze?
Eze is good. Eze is good. But then Eze is blocking you from Son, Palmer, Haaland structure. Like if he's there, then what are you doing with that?
Yeah. That's the reason I've not considered him. Not just because of the bias of how he killed me from game week 1 to 5, but also what you just said there as well. That's the reason he's not in my reckoning. But I thought I'd mention it because I think others will have that dilemma. Looking to be a bit different, maybe jump on a player that people are jumping off, and they're the two candidates I keep seeing.
I mean, after this week, after they have played Forest, Spurs at home, Wolves away, Fulham at home, Newcastle home, Villa away. Those are 5 nice fixtures. So
good fixtures.
I don't mind it if people want to go there, but unfortunately, people won't, and they'll go Johnson instead.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement. I think that's all our dilemmas covered, Prez. I think
that's all our dilemmas. I don't think we've solved anything, but we've just agreed on what we will be worried about tomorrow.
No, I think I'm even more comfortable. Saka, look, Sales, I'm leaving him in goal, even if I have to play with 10. Saka to Brennan Johnson if he's out. If Havertz is out, I'm going straight to Solanke. There you go. That's my dilemma. That's my dilemmas, Prez. I'm sorted.
Excellent. And for me, Edison, once he gets his assist and clean sheet, I will laugh on this pod next week. But apart from that, pretty similar.
I shouldn't. You know what? Edison, I don't know. It's something about him. Has he kept your clean sheet yet since you brought him in?
No. But
No.
has Raya kept anyone a clean sheet since they bought
You're
him?
so lucky. You know what?
I'm lucky. I mean,
Yeah. No, the reason you're lucky though, Prez, is because your one it hasn't flopped. It's only 2 game weeks, but it didn't work out. But the ones that could have punished you hasn't worked out either. and Arsenal are a better defense than City's, maybe just by a little, but still, they are a better defense.
dude, what I'm trying to say is, Man City, who are the highest clean sheet odds this week? Oh, what a
Where are-
surprise!
Where are we?
It's Man City.
Man City.
Who is the highest clean sheet odd next week? Who is home to Southampton next week?
They'll mostly concede in both games. So don't count your chicken.
If you think you know better than the markets, then go make a bet that Man City will concede. Like if all I'm trying to say is math, the markets, the people who are actually putting money into the game think that the highest odds of a clean sheet are for Man City. I've picked their keeper. If it doesn't work out, so be it. But I don't think it's such a stupid move that I get
It's
so
not.
much
No,
hate
it's
for
not
Edison.
bad. Praz, you're getting defensive. I'm not
I
getting
love
on your
Edison,
back.
man. I'm here to fight about Edison.
Have people got on your case for the
Every
Edison
single
move?
post I make, it's about Edison. Like it's the highest clean sheet team, man.
I'll be honest with you. I actually slightly jealous of it because against Wolves, surely there's a clean sheet there, Praz.
No,
Although I would prefer.
42% means he's more likely to concede than not.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. I'm to be honest, I'm teasing you a little bit, but I'm in agreement. I think you would have been upset if the Arsenal, if Raya, who you was going to go with, did keep the clean sheets.
Yeah, but then this week I would be upset if Raya keeps it and Edison doesn't because Edison is more likely. Next week, Raya is home to Liverpool, Edison is home to Southampton. I would be bloody upset if Raya keeps one and Edison doesn't. So what I was saying was my bet was a 5-week bet. It wasn't a 2-week bet. And so far, I'm drawing with Raya. So I'm actually.
So you're telling everyone to slow down, to wait, give it 3 more weeks before you judge that move.
Absolutely. And Havertz banged for me anyway. Like Raya didn't do well, and my third Arsenal turned out to be not Raya, but Havertz, and he did well.
I think that's the important part, Praz, that we didn't go because of that Raya move. We went Havertz, and he's delivered. So yeah, that was the little blessing in disguise right there.
But Solanke did as well.
Yeah, fair. I know, but
it all turns out to be a wash. Anyway, let's leave it there. It's been a long one, actually.
It's been a long one. It's been a good one. It's been a good one. It's after international break. We've got a lot to talk about, Praz, So yeah,
we did, yeah, and we missed seeing, we missed sort of the interaction. So one day we will start doing this live on Thursday nights. But until then, you'll have to get the videos and hope you enjoy Deadline Dilemmas, and I hope you enjoy the Friday pressers.
All right. On that note, I'm going to wish you good luck and see you next time. Praz, take it easy, my friend.
See you. Bye bye.